Welcome, friends. It's good to see you. My name is Remy, and I was just puzzling over a note that had been left in our phone. September has been sort of background working on putting down things that it wants to get clips of for the soundboard when we get the soundboard running again. And there's one line item on that just says 410 catapult. And I don't know what the fuck it connects to. September doesn't appear to either, seems to think that 410 is an episode number, we don't know of what and why catapults are important to it. So that's fun. We'll have to like do some process of elimination and see if we can figure it out, but I don't have high hopes. It's just like this. The brain is a wondrous organ. Uh, Speaking of wondrous organs, no, I can't make that segue. Um, we're gonna play more Dandara. I don't have a segue. That other thing didn't count. Um, which I was not surprised that I liked as much as I did, because I definitely remember liking it. Um, but that it is as fun to play and just sort of uh, locomote in as it is fantastic. I'm very much looking forward to playing it some more. Um, Content warnings, because I didn't do it last week and forgot to, managed to catch myself before I said something slightly risque, but you deserve to have the slightly risque things warned for you before I get there. So, hey, here's your content warnings. For Dandara, Dandara is a game where a game about resisting a totalitarian regime, and as such deals with a lot of the bad emotions that come with existing under a totalitarian regime. There are also eyeballs which pop out of the walls every now and again. And from a simply gameplay uh, ha, Dandara's movement is to travel between walls, ceiling, and floor and sticking to them. And in order to facilitate that movement, the camera will sometimes turn very, very quickly. Um, there is not a lot I can do about that. It's just the way the game is. So be prepared for possibly quite quick shifts in perspective. Uh, what else is there? I feel like there was another thing that I needed to talk about in terms of the game, but it's not coming to me. So I guess I'll see how it goes. And the content warnings for myself, because you deserve that too. Uh, I'm a strange person who sometimes makes weird sex jokes or speaks frankly about their trauma. And if you don't like that, that's okay. Um, Keep yourself safe. If you find that's something that you're okay with, then I'm happy to have you here. And I hope you enjoy seeing this game through with me. So, let me hit the buttons. You're going to hear the dingle dong because I forgot to turn the fucking controller on again. Where the hell did you go? Oh, that was that loud bang earlier. I had managed to knock it down behind the desk. There's your dingle dong. Also, I noticed that the watching over the stream from Friday, the game audio was quite loud to the point where I was often drowned out by it. Pardon. So I'm going to turn down the game audio just a little bit. Hopefully it will still be audible because the music in this, I didn't mention it at all during the stream, but the music in this is actually very, very good. A game by Long Hat House and produced by Raw Fury. Published by Raw Fury? I think so. Dandara, the Trials of Fear edition. We strongly recommend playing with the controller that got you. So we're going to turn the gaming volume down just a little bit to the point where when I speak it's not actively trying to do that thing. Is chat disconnected? No, it's successfully connected again. Did we go offline? I don't think we did. We're gonna give the volume control. Let's give it one more touch down. I'm being quiet right now so that I can hear how audible the music is by itself. There's not a way for me to do that in real time. This is for future me doing the, not editing, but review later. And I need to rotate my chair so that I'm actually looking at the screen I'm playing on and not the tiny preview in the OBS window. Hang on. Hang on. We're moving it. We're making it happen. It's a heavy chair. If you've never heard me talk about this chair, it's massive. I call it the pew chair because when we were young, our church had chairs like this up on the, I was about to say stage, which I suppose it is, the raised part of the floor of the church where the preachers and choir stood for the preachers and choir to sit in. It looks just like a one-person pew. So, there we go. We found this at a fucking, well, what's the goddamn pawn shop? Like years and years ago. And it's good. It's very good because it is very wide. It is so wide a chair and so deep a chair to the extent that I can just sit comfortably cross-legged in it. I like it very much. We are at the tower stairway. In the Remembrance Desert. Okay, so to catch us up on our narrative so far, we went through the sort of tutorial area, which is called the Village of Artists. We met a few artists who were sheltering from, were they a general? I think they were a general called Augustus, who was terrorizing them specifically. We smashed Augustus apart with the power of our freedom arrows, and now we are out into the broader world. It is, this is a library in the Remembrance Desert. We are trying to seek out the, I guess, head librarian, who we are told by our, what do I want to call her? Spiritual leader, I guess? Lazuli. We are told that he is very sad. But very wise, and it would be a good idea to find him and get his advice, but we don't really know what that's going to look like. So we are in the kids' lecture house. I'm going to turn that up in my ears a little bit. It's a little low for me. And we, ow, okay. We avoid some ball lightning, which is traveling in a set path around the room. But I'm not avoiding it that well. I am still getting popped by it. C for curiosity and creation. Have we been in here? Let's have a look at the map. I think I got turned around somewhere. Yeah, so that's... Yeah, I just went completely the wrong way. Should have checked the map before setting out. That's It's on me. Ow. So back where we just were in the tower stairway, which is fine. That just means that I can stop in at the campsite I just left in order to refill this health that I've lost getting jammed up by the ball lightning. So, to the left, there is a switch. We could go press that switch, except we can't. I'm looking at the map. We could go press that, except we can't, because in order to get to the door on the other side of this wall, to press the switch to open the wall, we would have to get past a couple of the spinning cross-shaped barriers, which aren't spinning, and we don't know how to activate them yet. So, we're going to leave out this door to our right, I suppose, and see what's over here, which is an elevator. The tower. Oh, did I stop last time just before the boss fight? Uh-oh. Well, we've gone up the elevator into a sort of bowl shape full of books. Ah, yes indeed. So we've gone past the bowl shape and through a little thing, and we found someone. Massive, absolutely just massive face with hair and beard that look like they're made of sandstone, and on the other side, equally large hands, creating a glowy orb full of things like computers and beds and glasses. Actually, just computer, bed, and glasses. I presume you're the librarian. The writer, they are called.
Oh, hast thou found a way in? Such a relief the new sight brings me. In ages past, one would have seen here a prosperous archive of my works. The old days. Not a soul doth my writing impact any longer. My every work fragile. My every work crumbling. Everything sand. A desert. All hope hath been abandoned. Please, leave me.
Okay, well... You know, listen. I've dealt with writer's block before. And it does suck. I hope that you feel a little more confident in yourself soon. In the meantime, I am just going to leave you be for the moment. And we will whoop our way back through the other side of the tower, I guess, to see what's over here. The writer's lone balcony. There's some sort of plant over there. Okay, well... Okay, so that's the problem, or among the problems. There's a very large plant on the other side of this room, and I was trying to shoot at it from the sides, but it doesn't want me to do that. It wants me to juke around the various projectiles it's spitting and hit it in the center. And of course, standing in the center causes it to extend tendrils and extendrils and try and eat me. Oh, I only get one of those, huh? I don't get to get a second hit from the from the giant biting plant. That makes sense. It is giant after all, and biting. We're gonna have to go back up the tower and pass by the writer again. The little rings that the elevator is passing by have the comedy tragedy masks inscribed on them. I think that's neat. There's a part of me that wants to see what happens if I were to fire my arrows of freedom at the writer or his hands. I think I'm not going to do that. That's good. No. Yep, there's my salt ghost there. Should I just use my missiles? I guess I should just... Oh, what? Okay. So... I'm back in the room with the plant, except the plant isn't here. Did it move on because it had been satiated on my blood, or did I manage to fire off a kill shot at it just as I died? I don't think I'm going to get to know that information. So, we're moving on. Out to Remembrance Cliff. It's always comforting when you come into a room and it's just a narrow, jagged corridor lined with skulls. It really makes you feel safe. Especially if there's an altar of skulls at the end of it. Let's interact with the altar of skulls, like that's a good idea. This is a power of some kind, I guess. The Rock of Remembrance. Keep a rollin', still rollin'. A rock from ancient paths, the reminiscence of old times will activate and resonance in its mere presence. What the hell does that mean? Okay, so we've tried to leave that area, and... Hey, the reason that the thing looked all jagged was because it was teeth in what was itself a giant skull. So that's good. Oh, okay, that's why it's surrounded by skulls. So the skull stone that we got, the skull rock, is now activating these other skulls which were on the path, which are causing the platforms that they're on to slide up and down slightly, which is cool. Hey, does anything interesting happen if I manage to line all of these platforms up? I have to imagine the answer is no. But I still want to do it anyway, just to say. Yeah, there's no way I can actually do that, actually, because I do have to, like, move down that path, and then the platforms will move along with me. Anyway, hey Ryder, I brought you this rock. How do you feel about it? There is particles flying through this room where there were not before, indicating a wind, and the writer confirms this.
Doth thou too feel a shift in the winds? Forces once dormant hath now awakened. The past can now be touched. Beware, one who dares to walk the ruins may themselves become ruin. Thine path is a home to a danger thou hast yet to suffer. Oh, the stories that shall come of this. Venture forward into the chapters of tales yet told.
Cool, will do. Not worrying. Not even a little worrying. It's fine. Oh, this, Okay, great. So, what we are learning is that yep, the stone we got is not a helpful item necessarily. It activates these skulls, which we've seen in places along the path here. And I imagine in some cases it will be cool and useful and open up uh, platforms and areas for us. But occasionally in places like this, I guess it's going to cause uh, squishers to attempt to squish us. Still can't go through that way. Oh, this skull is probably what starts out, what starts the, uh, those spinny cross-shaped things that we were wondering how to move. There we go. Moving back through this area with all the ball lightning. And it's going better now that I'm actually, like, sitting and watching where the ball lightning is going. And marking out the path rather than just... Okay. So coming over here activates a skull icon, which vomits sand into a bucket underneath it. Oh, this is a hazard. Heck, yeah, I need to move through it when the skull is no longer vomiting sand. Okay. That's doable. And yeah, this also... It also activates these platforms, which spin in the direction we're... which spin around a central point to always be pointing at us so that we can land on it. That's reminding us, I suppose, that these are not completely negative, even though it did just try to kill us 2 different ways. Alright, and yes, it does start this cross-shaped spinning platform. That being done, let's come over here and open the switch. That opens the wall. And should we keep going over to the right there? Or left or down, whichever way it is. Perspective is a whole hell of a thing. It's left on the map. Where else could we go now that we have this? So the skull markers are indicated on our map in red, so we have some idea of what they can open. There's something near to the entrance of this place there where we can... That's probably some sort of treasure in there. Or maybe it's a switch to open that wall so we can get further on that way. More north? Should we go do that before we go get deeper into this area? I'm going to say yes, actually. Let's backtrack just a little bit. Through C for curiosity and creation. We also have gone through F for finding them fun. Oh, hey! That room is much more fun now that the platform is trying to look at us. Oh, haha, very fun. We can't go back through here. So if we try and go back through here, we activate one of the skull icons, which raises a wall in front of us. No, says the video game, don't go backtracking. Move forward and check out the new stuff. I put it there for you specifically. Okay, video game. You can go back and look at those other things afterwards. Okay. We'll just travel along this other spinning thing, and here. Into apparently quarter of a distant love. A lone disheveled book with torn pages is on the floor. Once opened, a line jumps off the page. But, just as I left the bus, I saw an elderly woman sobbing uncontrollably. I wanted to say something to her, yet I couldn't be late to work. Extraordinarily real. I can't get to that treasure chest on the other side of that wall. So we come down to B for bruises and betweens. Where we're going to have to ride this... Yeah, okay, this is one of the platforms we saw last time. Where it moves in... with an equal and opposite reaction to which way we fire our arrows. Which is good, I just need to wait for this skull to quit vomiting sand. Come over here to where the other platform is. Take out these fucking octopuses and the pith helmets. There's a mother brain canister, which once the other hazards are dealt with is handily destroyed. And we move on. Corner of the unasked question. Is there anything to interact with in this room, or is it just No, it's just this. So let's go out this door. We've seen this room before, but I guess now we're on the other side of it. S for smiles and scars. Have we gone this way yet out of it? We have not, so let's go this way out of it. To remember good moments. Very slowly maneuver ourselves like this. There we go. Past a couple of the vomiting skulls. And did that turn the vomiting skulls off? No, it didn't. Then what does that switch do? Oh, I presume because platforms reset when you enter a room. I presume if we enter the room from this side and the platform isn't here, that switch will bring the platform over to us. That makes sense. This takes us over to the other side of that ooh, hey, to the other side of the wall where that treasure chest was. We're gonna activate that. I'd forgotten, even though I mentioned them in the content warnings, I'd forgotten about the eyes opening in the walls. They're there now, the eyes in the walls. So that's good. Let's go ahead and open this treasure chest and see what it is they were so interested in watching us do. The memories shaft brings forth from the forgotten past a harmful beam that can enlighten new paths. Is that a new sub-weapon? Sure seems to be. Yeah, okay. We can now switch between our Johnny B missiles and the memories shaft. Hey, Eyeballs, how do you feel about the memories shaft? You don't appear to care. Here's what the memories shaft does. It puts down a skull in the place that I drop it, which shoots a continuous beam out from itself. It went all the way from one side of the wall of this room to the other. I sort of presume that it has no upper limit to how far it can go, so that's probably going to be used to hit switches on the other side of rooms. Glad I came over here to get this. The switch did indeed bring the platform over to us. We use the platform to cross and get back to the other side of the room. Turn around, okay. Like this. Like that. Where should we go from here? We actually don't have a lot of options. Most of the other areas we can go to are closed off. Actually, we could get over to that area just over there. That's not useful if you are not able to see the map, but through a couple of rooms there's a door I hadn't opened, and I don't think it leads to anything major, but it is an area we hadn't explored, so let's go do that real quick. Oh, this is going to... Oh, neat. Does that... Ow. Okay. So I found a whole new thing that the skulls can do, which is... activate this fucking thing. Hey, can that... this fucking thing, is a, it fires missiles in bursts. Oh, good. So this is the room I hadn't entered previously, and the skull is causing the area to be full of those missiles I was talking about before. It's full of it now. Can I take those fucking missiles out? Kinda doesn't look like I can. Don't worry about that later and just go into this room. Into the Archive of the Invincible. A lone book with torn pages is on the floor. A line jumps off the first page. And then I saw him, sitting on the window. He wasn't really the type for that kind of child play. We pass by another vomiting skull out into... Oh, hey. into the main area where all of these fucking Audrey-like plants were vomiting stuff at us. A lot of things are spinning at us in this area. That's fine. Is this a new essence? Or essence of salt? Yeah. So we can heal ourselves slightly more. Which is good, because I hadn't been paying attention to my health. You're now mostly healed. It's fine. I'm gonna try and activate the Shaft of Memories. And... well, that's not how you do that. No, So, I had a misunderstanding of how that worked. So the Shaft of Memories goes until it hits a wall, apparently, and then fires out directly from the opposite side of that wall. So trying to angle it in such a way that it hits these missile spitting skull thingies is not. That's nothing. That's not going to happen. I come out this way? Yes. Alright. Okay. I have been in this room before. It was the room that had all of the Audreys in them. I did take care of those, the Audreys, and then now we're just sort of sitting with more skull turrets. I'm going to call them skull turrets, I guess, that are doing basically the same thing, which I cannot kill. So that's great. I get over to this. So there's a... oh, yes, I probably can actually. There is a platform over here that I had not managed to get to last time because it had the skull things on either side. And now I can move the skull things. The skull things now are indeed moved. Pop open a treasure chest for a little bit of extra salt. And we can open that wall that was above us. So let's do that. And see what's beyond there. Traversing the old days. I'm just gonna hit you with a fucking missile. Ooh. Oh, that doesn't work. Good. Okay. I wanted very badly to be able to take care of those, the orbs with the faces on them, the ones that charge at you when you get close. I wanted to be able to just take care of those with the Johnny missiles. But it looks like that's not that. It looks like it doesn't work that way. Hang on, let's try the memory shaft and see if that does any better. Well... alright. Oh, I'm all the way back here, huh? Yeah, I opened a couple shortcuts, but I'm gonna have to get all the way back to where I just was. That's good. How do I do that? Can't go back actually because of the way that one wall works, so I actually do just have to go all the way. Damn. fine. We're just gonna do that. It's gonna be okay. We go through the bruises and the betweens. He's gonna get hit. He's gonna get hit. Just like that. We're gonna go past the place where the mother brain canister is. Or was. It's not there anymore. They stay gone when you kill them. We'll go through the unasked question. Through the smiles and the scars, which is my favorite Dragon Force song. I feel like I never got through Fire in the Flames on without having no fail on in Guitar Hero. I'm not ashamed to say that. It's very difficult on purpose. I don't know. I've just suddenly handed the Guitar Hero memories. Crud. Do we want to go out this way? Yes, we do. Not need to, but are going to go through this. We fortunately don't have to contend with all of those missiles. It's fine. We are going to have to contend with these ones, and that's okay because they're a lot easier to dodge. Except that I didn't. I swooped directly into one, and had not apparently been watching where my health was, so I was not able to just take that damage and died again. Okay. Presumably because I didn't get back to my ghost, then I'm not going to be able to get the salt crystals that I had back. That's okay. This is my fucking, Dark Souls shit again. Dark Souls is not a punishing game because your only penalty for doing poorly is to lose your souls, and those are a renewable resource, so it's fine. I continue to love the irony, just a little bit, because I'm the kind of person I am. I love the irony that BioShock got all of this stick when it came out for not having a death penalty, right? Where, like, you die in BioShock and then you come back and the clonomatic station or whatever the fuck they were called, Vita Chambers, that's what they were called, and then just go back to whatever you were doing with, like, you lost a little bit of money and that was it. And the detractors called that, like, always on easy mode, baby game for babies. And then Dark Souls comes along, does that exact same thing, and it's the hardest thing ever known to man. One of these days, and this is a threat, by the way, I am going to write up all of that bullshit we have in our brain about, like, the anti-capitalist reading of Dark Souls and Demon Souls. And there are people who are going to be, like, annoyed by those takes, or who would be if they ever read them. But, like, the land in Demon's Souls is called Boletaria. And the Boletaria are restless because a small group of people have taken all of the resources and consolidated them amongst themselves via theft and cronyism. And like, I don't know how you want me to read that if it's not with an anti-capitalist lens. There we go. So we're back in the room with the face orbs, finally. We are smashing apart the face orbs. There's a couple of the Jackalmen. The first Jackalman we run into this session. They're standing on the platforms too, and their projectile weapons do also push them backwards. Because of course when you projectile on a greased rail, it pushes you backwards. Oh, fun. So this room is called the Treasure. It is a square-ish room. With a very visible treasure chest in the middle. What happens when it's got, ooh, that's interesting. So it is surrounded by platforms that spin around a central point. The way the other platforms have moved, we control them by equal and oppositing with the charge shots. I said last stream that when Dandara is charging up her arrows of freedom, she does so by holding out one hand and holding on to the crook of her elbow with the other hand. And I said that was like Mega Man. And Mega Man does do that, but Samus does that too, and it's a much more apt comparison. I've gotten to the treasure chest. It's another essence orb. So how many of those do we have? We have 5 of those now? That seems like a lot. Is there another way out of this room? No? I've done the thing. Alright, then let's get back onto the inner one, so that we can get back to the outer door. Go back through this room, traversing the old days. The room's empty now, so we don't have to worry about the face orbs or the Jackalmans. Just gotta get past the vomiting skulls. And we're back out in the main hall. Where the fuck do we go from here? We can't go through that door because we can't get to the other side of that wall, and there doesn't appear to be any skulls in that room for us to be able to move. Can we get down to those rooms there? Down in the... Main storeroom? I think the answer is no, but let's check anyway. And if it's not, then we just have to backtrack a little bit further to the first of these spinning platforms that we encountered when we first came into the area. Oh, right, here's the army outpost. Let's go ahead and take care of these jackalmen while we are here. I am really fucking up on those. Hang on. Okay, great, cool. Okay, we move down here. I'm actually just gonna leave those alone, I think. Alright, so into the main warehouse, and no, we can't really get back there. We could probably use the skull beam to take out the Audreys that are shooting at us through that tiny hole, but I think... Okay, well, I tried to go even further down, and a sandstone wall rose up in front of me. So... say what you will about it, but the game is very clearly telling us, no, don't go that way. And I enjoy that clarity. We go back this way where the little reforming fuckers made of sand are. I'm gonna juke past that. Take out one of the helmet octopi. To the View of Solitude where there is a camp, so let's go sit at the camp for a moment, refill our health. Oh, can we level up? No, we only have like 500 salt. We definitely need more than that. We could have gone through these doors when we first got here, but apparently didn't. So let's go ahead and go through here now and see what we had missed. Here's a chest with salt. A bunch of boxes also containing salt. Kind of not worth it to blow those up on their own. Oh, both of these lead down to the same both of those doors that we could have gone out of that previous room would have led us into this room, where there is a book on the floor. A lone disheveled book with torn pages is on the floor. Once opened, a line jumps off the page. I always told everyone I hated cleaning the pool, but even I must admit it brought me to a surprisingly meditative state. Okay, we can go through that apparently to the Archive of the Toddler. There is a stone wall here, but we take care of that with our missiles. And these two doors are going to lead us out to the doors we couldn't get in, couldn't get near to in the main warehouse, where the Audreys were shooting through tiny openings at us. So that's good. Here's another infusion of salt. Use it to recharge our energy. And I'm trying to remember if there was a treasure chest over with the other door. I guess we'll see when we get over there. Because it's not like I'm not going to go. There's other stuff over here, but I'm not going to check that out just yet. I'm going to go over here to the main warehouse. Blast apart this Audrey so that we don't have to deal with it later. Okay, so here in the Archive of the Child, there are more stone walls in front of us, but again, easily taken care of with the judicious application of missiles. There were a couple of these goobers in the way. Take care of those. It's fine, they reform. Let's stop back at the camp real quick. Do I have enough now to... No, apparently our next level up is at 2002 salt. We still need, like, another few hundred. Was there a book over there that I missed? Not a book. A set of curious objects were buried in the ground. When touched for a closer inspection, they quickly dissolve into sand. Oh. Again, we could have come to this room previously, but I missed it because I chose the correct path forward entirely by accident. Blast apart a few boxes, get the salt. Oh, we couldn't have gotten to here anyway, so I think this is where we're meant to go. Into the Rise of Passion, where there are some skull thingies to activate, which opens a wall for us to go through. Take out this Audrey. The wall closes behind us again, but that's fine, probably. Just accelerate out the other side to the Labyrinth warehouse. Ow. Okay, so there's a bunch of switches in this room. And it is our job to hit them one by one to open several walls over to one side of it so that we can move forward. I wouldn't necessarily call it a labyrinth. It's not really difficult to get around in. It's just kind of convoluted and also full of the sand things. I thought that was going to open one of the walls to get us out, but it did not. It instead cracked open an entirely different wall, which led to yet another switch. That's fine. Because I think we got far enough away from the driest bones to not have to fucking deal with that anymore. No, that's where the door is. Hang on, I need to go find another switch. It's over there. There it is. Just over here. Flip that last switch, and all of the walls are open. We can get through the door. I just gotta hump and bump my way over there. Bump and jump? I was thinking of bump and jump. I want to say it was for the Atari? Might have been the NES. Here in the corridor of the Naive, we go around what looks like a little hook shape out to... Okay, so the skull activators have started up a series of moving platforms. They move on their own. We don't have to move them. There are apparently Jackalmen on the other side of that who are... Nope, I was wrong. It's not the Jackalmen, it's one of the fucking Mother Brain canisters. That's okay. We can also handle those easily. Just 3 shots and done. Just had to also manage moving platforms at the same time. Oh, this takes us back to the other side of that diagonally cut off room that we couldn't get to the other side of. We're now to the other side of it, with its treasure chest and the essence of salt within. How many of those fucking heals do we have now? Like 8? Something like that? We have 6 now, and I know I've used more than one of them on this run. Or maybe it refills them. So maybe it refills them once you get through. Yeah, well. Apparently that was it for this area. Just wanted to get us over to that other treasure chest. Which is cool and good, but now we have to do a lot more of that backtracking to... Yeah, we're going to go back down to... No, something's going to happen when we get to that ring, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. When we get to that room that was the big ring with the face on one side of it, I think that something will happen once we get back to that. I'm not terribly excited by that prospect. Is it off this way? Yes, it is. Part of the, let's stop here at the camp, part of the nope. Whatever I was gonna say went completely out of my head, and it's just gone. So fuck it. Here we are back into the room with the ring, the Overcast Gate Ruins it is called. Okay, so in addition to the ball lightning we were contending with the first time around, There's also the skull things that are vomiting sand at us, but that's okay. Um, so the last time we came through here, I noted that there were corridors that we couldn't get into because we didn't have the jump ability for them. But I think that's not a thing anymore. I don't think we're supposed to jump in there. I think what we are supposed to do is take our new sub-weapon, the Skull Beam, and position it such that the Skull Beam will shoot out into that area. Oh, right, we also are hit by the Skull Beam. I forgot about that part. No, it doesn't seem to be doing much. Okay, so we have, we've gotten all the way around to the face that I noted the first time we came here. And I accidentally hit back to main menu, didn't I? I'm sure did. Fantastic. That's okay. It just means that we go back to the last flag we raised, and I don't have to worry about all of the energy that I just wasted doing that thing with the uh, doing that thing with the skulls that wasted my sub-weapon ammo. It's fine. Just gonna go ahead and get all the way over here. Past you. Okay, so back to the big face. The big face opens its eyes. Belia the Stone-Hearted. Oh, I guess we are going in here. All right, so we went through a little bit of platforming to get to the center of this area, where indeed there is a massive stone heart, which is firing missiles and rays at us. Holy shit, where is safe to stand? Okay, there, good. Alright, we need to make our way back to the face part, I guess, as that's the only way back into the immediate area. We do that so we can be back here, where the heart is. Theoretically, that makes it home, but it doesn't feel like it. Hey, this boss fight track fucking bumps, by the way. Alright, so we've done our second go-round of being kicked back out to the outer ring and then running back into the heart room. Ah, and got absolutely caught by a missile. That's okay. Should I be using the skull beams in there? Probably, right? That seems like it should do some good. Let's go ahead and, well, of course we don't have any salt to level up with because we just died. All of our salt is with our ghost. So, let's go ahead and not worry about that part and just get back to that fight. It should go more smoothly this time, now that I understand what's happening. Let's go ahead and switch to the skull beam before I forget, so that I have it ready to go for when we get up there. Running around the ring is a little bit of vertigo inducing. I'm actually just going to stop for a moment and, I was about to say have a sip of water, but I am out of water. I'm going to stand up and go get some water. I'll be just one moment. It will not take very long, and then we'll have another run at this boss fight. I had brought my water jug out, but apparently I drained that while I was doing the setup. So I now have a simple glass of water. Okay, so let's jump on the skull platform and open up this face and get into the stone heart. Alright, let's fire off the skull beam. It looks like the skull beam doesn't really hit. Oop, let's, or is probably just, like, placing it down in the wrong zone. Hang on, can I... Well, that didn't work. I was trying to see if I could, before the heart kicked me back out again, put down a skull beam so that I could... Alright, so the skull beam actually does hit. It just doesn't do it. It does it continuously, but just not often. It does it at like a tick. It's like hit, 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 as opposed to continuous damage. Let's be reasonable and fucking heal as we traverse the outer ring again. And we jump back into the heart room. I'm just gonna... Oof. Those things hit really hard, actually. Did I just go from full health to no health off that? It's kind of hard to tell, but I think that was a. I kind of think that was a one shot. Ow, okay. Ow, okay. Please stop. I wish you would not. Okay, back to the heart room. Let's just try the missiles. If I just lay as many fucking missiles as I can into you, how does that do? You don't appear to enjoy it. I honestly probably could drop a skull beam in there to get some damage in while I was on the outer ring if I tried hard enough and believed in myself. Uh, Ow. Okay. Damn, no wonder they gave me like 3 extra fucking heal boxes during this zone. Oh yeah. I actually did manage to get one of the skull beams off, and it is indeed doing damage for me while I'm in there. It didn't do a lot, but not nothing. Holy shit. Okay, that takes... Okay, so... So there's 2 types of projectiles that Belly Edge shoots out. One is a straight up tracking missile like a lot of the rest of the things that 2 projectiles shoot. And the other is a series of burst missiles that make a whole area of the zone just like difficult to be in. And those second ones hit like a fucking train, I guess. Because every single time I've been hit by one, it's been a lot, too much. But that's not a problem anymore. The heart is drained of its health and explodes. Oh, hey, you have a face now. That's cool. Oh, okay, I can stand here and talk to the spirited heart. After so long, could this truly be? The heart opens its eyes and grows some tree branches around the place. It is, and it feels so good. I feel the energy of life pulsing through my roots. I've hurt so deeply I couldn't bear joy for fear I'd suffer again.
but you remind me how wonderful life can feel. Thank you. And of course, for removing my restraints. I could barely move. You freed me. I can feel my roots tingling as they spread throughout the salt. Oh, even there, the hidden place of crimson caves where everything has turned rancid. You know where I speak of? Hun, I was sure you had been there. Then, pardon me, just needing to rub my eyes for a moment. I was sure you had been there. The maws that once refused entrance won't hurt you any longer. I can feel it already. There's someone very dear being kept there. Or is she hiding herself? I'm not sure. You may now visit a hidden place, the side of the salt we don't speak of. I can tell she's still there. I used to hear her singing. Each note sent a tingle through my roots. I don't anymore.
Uh, I don't think we went over to wherever that place was. Although I'm glad we can go now. I'm just sort of looking around Heart in a Box headquarters to see what there is. There were a couple of chests full of salt. That leads back to where we were. This presumably is the way back out to the library if we wanted to get back to, pardon, hiccups, the library. I didn't expect hiccups. I again choose to believe that random hiccups without a purpose, without a clear reason for hiccups happening, is evidence that someone is thinking lustful thoughts about you. So, hey, whoever that is. Do I want to go all the way back to the librarian from here? The answer is honestly, yeah, it wouldn't take that long. Ow. It's going to require me being a little more cautious than I'm currently being. But that's just like a problem with me generally. Oh, we have enough to level up ourselves again. Oh, maybe twice. Let's see, what do we want to do? We can increase our hearts, we can increase the amount of energy we have to use our sub-weapons, we can increase the amount we heal per heal, or the amount we re-energize per re-energon. Let's do that. The amount of energy per energy. And our maximum energy. If the ammo for the sub-weapons is a little more if the ammo for the sub-weapons is a little less precious, then I think I will be a little less precious about using it. Because as it is, I kind of only jump to the missiles or the skull beams if, like, either at a boss or for their intended puzzle purposes. Get out of here, Jacqueline. No one likes her style. The cheat, do you like the Jacqueline's style? Grab that flag. There we go from here. Down. Yeah, down through that area with all the boxes and then around. It's gonna take just a little bit to get us all the way back to where I want to go, but I do want to go there. Because I do want to see how the rider feels now that the heart is freed. Ow, okay. No, that was the wrong way to maneuver. I tried to spin the box in a direction that would not get me harmed by the missile, and instead I did it the wrong way. Equal and opposite, keep forgetting. Right? Yeah, I guess. Oh, there's a whole treasure chest over here that I didn't open. Good. Glad I did that. And a whole switch I didn't switch. So where the hell does this go? Because there's a door over here that I presumably wouldn't have been able to reach otherwise. Oh no, this is back to the museum entrance. That's fine. We pass through here? Can we take the... Yeah, we can just go down from here. That will be easier. Well, not necessarily easier, just, you know, faster. Fast is like easy. If you don't care how good a job you do. We'll go past the squishy platforms that try to squish us, up to the tower to go see the rider again. And see how he's doing. Hello, how are you doing? You are still talking about the shift in the winds and the path to danger. Okay. Alright. Well, have fun with that. I'm gonna head back. See what other kind of trouble I can get into. I presume it's some. Yeah, okay. I was going past the room with all of the spinity platforms. Did I go up from here? I guess. Can I get up from here? No, I cannot. It will not let me. It does not want me to. It's fine, that's what I opened that shortcut for a moment ago, so I can get around that room a different way. And through the unseen tunnel. And presumably the unseen library. There's a librarian here. They were changed in a magical transformation. Very Cratchit joke. Huh, that would be interesting. I'm always kind of uh, trying to. Oh, I can't go through here. There's a stone corridor that is not corridor. There's a stone wall that is blocking my way. So I go out the other way. That's fine. Uh, nope. This isn't. It's not. This isn't, and it's not. Okay. So which the hell way do I go to get out from here? It's not northerly. Just go all the way around? Yeah, I have to go all the way around through the room of the boxes. I knew that. Okay. Fucking... I'm often trying to think ahead to whatever we're gonna play next. And I just remembered that the Terry Pratchett Discworld point-click games exist. And I know that those are abandonware. And I think I even know where I can get them pretty reasonably. So that might be something that we can look into in the future. Is it this way? It's this way. Down, we raise this flag. Move forward, because we can't go back. Go through the fucking army outpost. Move past these fuckers. Okay, we're almost back to where we were. So where do we go from? Is that song any damn good? That's basically all I remember of it. Then the chorus. I wouldn't even be able to tell you what the name of the fucking song is. I'm still looking for them. Okay, back to the heart. The room with the heart in it. Oh, okay. Cool. Alright, so when we went through this area the first time, getting to the library, there was a maw full of tendrils that snapped at us as we passed. So I got back to that on the way out, and apparently there was a door in the middle of that, which I opened, and now we are in a place. Let's do the image description, I suppose. It is dark here. It looks like it is made of deep blue stone with worryingly organic veins on the walls. Lazuli is speaking to us telepathically. Dandara, I struggle to reach you while you are there. The salt, it is everywhere, but here, the threat and risk. You may desire to fight. You may desire to flee. Stoke the courage within you. Tend to your heart. The moments in which we feel weak are when we truly show our strength. You are brave. Here in the Hidden Realms, there is a salt ghost over here. Victoria, burnt by salt light. So this is apparently the hidden gross place that the Living Heart warned us about. What the fuck are you? Firing at you doesn't appear to do any good. It's a ring. Cool and good. There is no way to come back from that, is there? Uh, there was a there was a ring of what looked like blood vessels opening and closing, and going through it, shot us as though out of a cannon, into a new part of this hidden realm. Uh, Apparently there's just going to be more of those. So it fires us out, and is that what doors look like here? I think that's what doors look like here. Um, Fired us out and then sort of left us hovering in an area, letting us decide where we want to land. So the worryingly organic, and I'm going to keep calling them that, veins in the walls, which are pulsing. Did I mention the pulsing before? I don't think I mentioned the pulsing before. They're pulsing. Um, are being joined by human-like figures, um, that look like sort of fossil record in various states of distress. Uh, Maybe not this stress, but something in a similar pattern. That's a stolen joke. It's from Cheap in the Big City. Let's go through this shaft, which is probably a door. Yes, it is. What's on the other side of this? The room is called Whelmed in Fear. I do like that. You hear overwhelmed and underwhelmed a lot. It's difficult to be whelmed. I'm glad that I'm experiencing just enough fear. There's a thing. Inside a hole, there are multiple red, viscous tentacles that shine in the dark. Their origin can't be seen. They emit a strong ferrous smell throughout the entire area. Oh, good. I absolutely despise the smell of blood in the morning or any other time. Here's another interactable thing. There's a red page torn from a notebook on the ground. Oh, so we need to give that one to, Cirrus? Cirrus is red, right? Yeah. Got sidetracked. I'm going to start the line again from the top. There's a red page torn from a notebook on the ground. The words are written in fine handwriting. How I long to return to the village, but it seems I am lost forever. The maw does not open for me anymore. Oh, good. Other people call it a maw also. Good. Glad I got there. When I reach for it to see if... Starting again. When I reach for it to see if I will be granted passage, it only twists and turns. At times, it emits a ray of light that burns upon touching. I've stayed inside for far too long. Okay. There were a couple of little crawlies on a wally there. I took them out. Well, let's look at the map of the Hidden Realms, which is All right. This one sort of looks like a T-bone steak. I'm not saying that's good or bad. That's just sort of what it looks like. Let's do this. Rest on the second Sunday is apparently the name of this room. There is a sign here to read. A test of resilience. A dangerous skill lies at the end of this path, one that causes great harm, but to whom? Only the strong should even try. Only the best will prevail. Oh, these are those trials of fear I've heard so much about. I mean, let's give it one try. Okay. Okay. So here's what was happening with that. I stood on a little platform in the center and didn't really have anything to do. I couldn't swoop. There's clearly a shaft upwards, but I couldn't swoop up it. A beam of light fired upon me, and it raised me up just a little bit. And then it fired again, and that raised me up just a little bit again. Each time it did so, I lost a heart of life. I presume what it is saying, the sign that we just read, is, hey, if you have a whole bunch of health and or, probably and, not or, the means to heal yourself significantly, then you can just sort of tank damage until you get to the top of whatever is at the top of this shaft. I don't think I have those resources right yet, so we're going to leave that where it is and come back later. Do I have pins? Can I set a pin in this? I cannot set a pin in this. But it's very visible on the map. So, I'll know where it is when I come back in here, I suppose. The Gates of Exile. Hey, more eyeballs. These ones are floating. And when I fire at them, that does nothing. Cool. So, first of all, they follow me, the eyes, so there's that. Shooting them with the freedom arrows do not appear to do much. How about the missiles? How do you feel about missiles? You do not care a fuck about the missiles. How about, I presume you're not going to care about the skull beam either, but let's go ahead and do our due diligence. No. Okay. So, the eyeballs appear to be feeding a roiling tentacle wall over on the other side of them, which I don't think that I can get through. Unless I have some way to damage the eyeballs themselves. So I'm just going to leave that alone for the moment. I could go back to the mall and get out of here. But I want to see what else we have down here first before I try that. The Leap of Mistrust. Good. Love that. Okay. So we can't get around that way. We can come over here and there's one of these one-way, I'm going to call them blood barrels because they're made of blood vessels and shoot you out like the barrels from Donkey Kong. We use that, which sends us over this way, and I don't think there's a way to get back to where we were now. Nope. There's a telescope we can look into that shows us that, yes, indeed, we cannot get back from that way. we come into irresolute trifurcation. There is a red wall here we cannot get through. Above it is a framed by the automatic camera is a smiling mask-like shape behind some walls that we can't reach. There's a path to it, but we can't get to there because there's no salt walls for us to jump on. What time is it? It is 10 o'clock. Can we get to a camp from here? I don't think so. Let's just pause then. And we'll chill here for just a moment because we are relatively safe. There's nothing actively coming after us. So, I'm going to take a little break. Before I do that, I wish to take this opportunity to remind you that Black Lives Matter, that Indigenous lives and lands matter, the lives of people of color matter, that Palestinian, Ukrainian, Sudanese, Congolese lives matter. Um, there are many ways to stand in solidarity with your fellow travelers upon this earth, and we like to push for direct mutual aid as it helps people who are suffering right now suffer less, and people who are suffering less can stand next to us just that little bit taller. So, I'm going to, on the break, go to my social media and check out the mutual aid hashtag there and boost what needs I can. I suggest that you check out mutual aid initiatives that exist in places where you operate, both online and in meat space, because the only way we get out of this is through. The only way we get through this is together. In the meantime, maybe stand up and or maybe do a stretch, maybe drink some water, maybe have a snack, do whatever self-care is useful to you. I'll do the same, and I'll see you back here in just a few minutes. Please join me then. Hey there, I'm back. Went and got a cookie and refilled my water. And lit an incense stick. Oh, I like this incense. I don't particularly remember where I got it. I think it might have been Dollar Tree. Uh, it's just a stick of jasmine incense. It smells very nice. I'm happy to be back in the habit of having smelly good things in the home. I sort of want to get like the incense uh, pleases me from a I can't get down there, can I? No. Uh, the incense pleases me from a sort of ritualistic perspective. I like beyond my nascent experimenting with the metaphysical. Um, it's also nice to like have the thing and slide it into its little holster so that the ash doesn't get everywhere, even though the ash gets everywhere anyway. And slowly light it with the lighter and blow it out and fan it so that just the tip is ignited, and watching it slowly burn down is nice. A part of me uh, wants uh, like those wax cubes, the smelly good wax cubes, too. Less for ritual reasons and more because I have really good memories of getting one of those wax cube melters going and then pouring the result all over a willing individual. It was a very fun night. Hi, Fib. How are you doing? We uh, were playing Dandara. We went through the library. We defeated and then reawakened a giant heart. So that was good. And a quick little side trip took us into this place where there is fear. It's not good here, and also there's not a lot of things we can do here, so I think we're actually just going to jump into this eyeball maw and get out into the sort of main area of the game. Into, I guess, the structural cave. There's a treasure chest here, which has one of the infusions of salt in it. We're going to do that. Where the hell are we on the traditional map? Okay, so does the, yeah, it sure does. The area that we had been in, the fear zone, I guess, is kind of like the Dark World version of the regular map in that it overlays directly onto the original map, and then we use those maws to get between one and then the other. So that's great. Let's not worry about that right now and come back when we have some more resources to handle what's going on in there. I'm doing pretty badly, to be frank. I hope Dandara goes well, or as well it can be given the ominousness of the area. I'm probably gonna mostly just lurk. I'm very sorry to hear that you're doing badly. If you care to share, or if there is anything I can do to help your day be better, I would like to. But if all you want is to just watch this go on, happy to do that as well. We found ourselves back in the Intention Capital. We poked our heads in here just a little bit. This is the area, I described it at the time, but I'm going to do it again since we've come back into it after a lengthy way away. It's all interior spaces. It looks like it's made out of metal. There are glowy, wiry bits along the walls. It looks like a space station. If a space station occasionally had red glowing eyeballs popping out of its walls, which this does. Let's get out of here, go rest at that camp that's just over here, and then we can head back in, or maybe we'll try the other path just to see what the other path is. Not especially, but I appreciate concern. Thank you. You're very welcome. Let's check out what's in this space. The corruption transform. That's, oh hey, one of the Jackalmans. It's been a little while. A crunch. You get out of here. Oh, you're cute. Can I fire at you? I sure can. There's green bubbles that are rising out of a swamp around us that I can shoot. Get rid of, so that's nice. Bro, there's a little, like, sort of cave over here that someone has clearly been living in. There's a couple of interactable areas, so let's have a look at those. There are hand-carved drawings on these stones. Depicted atop a huge golden wall is a couple bearing iron chains and laughing together. At the very ground, amidst aged buildings and a sea of sand, a colorful group of individuals join hands. Though shadowed by the towering wall, they hold their ground, tried by the winds of the Remembrance Desert. And one of the series of books. Mad scribbles fill an old, barely put-together notebook. Eldar's flunkies are too strong. How could anyone make it through the golden walls of his fortress? What kind of resistance did I incite? Anything we do, or should I say I do, feels futile. Is there even a way inside? I'll search the writer's works if I must to remember how it really was. But the writer lies me on a barren land and the sands of its long-gone fruits. Ow, okay, you can apparently fire through walls, so that's fantastic. Wow, you suck. I dislike looking at you very much. There's a dude down, I'm just gonna keep dodging because I can actually dodge pretty well. It's just, alright. So this is the Golden Wall, I fucking guess, and it is being patrolled by a person in a gyroscoping wheel, um, who is wearing golden armor. I probably should have taken a step back to a safer place. Wearing golden armor, or rather a golden bikini, I think. I think the legs and arms were bare, as well as the stomach area. Just sort of firing randomly at us. Well, I gotta get back down there to grab my damn salt, don't I? And then maybe I'll keep going down that area. Maybe I won't. We'll see. Alright, so can I get to whom? No. I actually can't get to a place where I can reasonably fire upon you. But you can shoot through walls, so that's great. I'm gonna go over here. Back into the Primal Woods. The area is called the Limits of Sanity. Well, do I want to just kind of tool around here and see what else I can find in the Primal Woods? And the answer is yeah, I guess so. I don't know what those purple things are. Oh, yes I do. Those are those platforms that I can flip if I know how, but I don't know how yet. So, I guess this space here is the only space I can usefully get to. Let's go ahead and see what else is in here. Oh, this leads back out to the Golden Threat, to the Golden Path. Ow. You know what? This area sucks, and I'm not fucking doing it. I'm just gonna accept that that salt I just lost is gone. Let's go into the sort of technocratic capital and see what we can do in here. This seems much easier. Oh, that's cute. I can't get through anywhere here because it's full of the platforms that I can flip if I know how, but I don't know how yet. So I'm not gonna fucking deal with that. Let's continue off this way. Alright, this is as far in as I got the first time I poked my head through here and then sort of noped out. I can go up, or down, or to the right. There's actually many directions I can go. There are some spike trolleys on the wall here, but they're easily avoidable. Let's go down. Okay. Going down leads us to Disposal Street, but I guess this is the wrong side of Disposal Street. Or Disposal is a one-way street, which I suppose is also accurate. There's a wall with a switch on the other side of it, so I'm supposed to enter this room from the other side. Let's go to the right then and see if we can't loop around over there. Not that way. So there's some walls here that are very clearly one way. They have arrows on them showing that, but if the arrows didn't do it for you, one side is made of spikes and the other side is made of clearly pass-throughable material. So there we go. Out into Little Hut Club. There's a painting on the wall. Oh, motherfucker. There's a painting on the wall of someone pouring from a bottle into a glass. And there's also, from somewhere in the distance, oh no, there you go. Oh, it's a new version of the Mother Brain canisters. This one's red and shoots 3 projectiles at once. The 3 projectiles it's shooting can go through walls, so that's fun. I certainly don't hate that. My favorite thing, being shot at through walls. Oops. There's face orbs in here to contend with as well. Okay, there we go. Managed to get around to the center of the room and take out the Mother Brain canister. Let's heal. I should remember to do that more. Club Backstage. Which is an interesting name for a club, I think. Ooh, what the hell is this? Bracers of the Patient. Spend energy in faith and patience. Danger will pass through, causing no harm. Is that another... No, it's not another sub-weapon. It's on our, overlay. Or our UI, rather. I can press LT to activate it? Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. That opens a... That brings up a shield which surrounds me. It drains the same energy that we use for our sub-weapons. Presumably we are invincible while that shield is up. That's good. There's a portrait on the wall. I mention it, well, because I like describing all the things, but it's also specifically listed that this is Eldar, the leader of the regime that we're fighting against, who is a shithead in a suit wearing a golden mask. Game is not subtle. Press left trigger to defend. Here we are back on Disposal Street. The game is again reminding us with a pop-up, press left trigger to defend. Yeah, okay. So as we went down the automatically moving conveyor, there were balls falling down from the ceiling. We pressed left trigger as they came down, and indeed they passed right through us, harmlessly. Wonderful, I love that. That little bit of survivability is going to do us a world of good, I think. Move through here. Oh, another ghost. Can we get to you? No. Oh, I can fire at you to capture you. That's not something I knew. Cecilia, loneliness. We cannot get through that way. So is that all the way we can go? Yeah, there's another door up over to the right, but we can't get through there. Because there are things in the way. So I guess having come through here, oh, okay. So we came in here to get those gauntlets, the ones that actually let us have a defensive option. And that's useful because we're going to have to go through all of that golden wall shit, and all of the golden wall shit sucks. But having a thing that we can hit to just let bullets pass through us is going to let us do that without it feeling hideously unfair. Wonderful. Hi, eyeballs. Happy to have you. Have you been getting enough iodine? Or whatever it is eyeballs eats? Not really sure myself. I mean, I guess the good news is that now we can go this way and get my, the salt I left down there back. Ow. Is it this room with the other? No. This is the room with the little cave hole that we went through. We didn't go through this first door in the golden thread, so let's do that before the Mr. Golden Laughing decides to come through. Ow. Alright. So let's get the fuck out of there. There's a new... Oh, you're gonna keep following me, huh? Yeah, throughout literally all... Wow, there's two of you? I hate that. Alright, so that salt's gone. Let me describe what the hell happened. So, the, the, the person in the wheel that I was talking about earlier, the person in the wheel that I was talking about earlier can move between screens on a track that itself moves between screens. That's what the golden wall is, I guess. It's the track that lets them do that. And as I got to what is apparently the center of the golden wall, because there was a place that looked like there was a break in the wall, another person on another wheel came by from the other direction, and instead of shooting the little bullets out, shot a beam that went through all of the walls and just smacked the ever-loving shit out of me. Hated that. Oh, we also found a new type of face orb. I don't know if I said that. I certainly meant to. This one's got a skull in it. Wow, that sucks. I'm not using my defense. The defense that I just said would make going through this area a lot easier. That one, I'm not using it. I should be using it. Just gotta remember it's there, and I have to remember that it's on left trigger. No, I'm not going to deal with you right now, actually. I'm going to go out this way. Because the other way I know just leads me to where all of those, to where that big fucker is with the beam, and I don't want to deal with the big fucker with the beam right now. Let's see what else we can get into over here first. Well, that does nothing. Alright. I was kind of hoping there would be something on the lower part of this room, but there isn't. That's fine. Let's continue. Alright, well, that's on me. That continues to be on me. I didn't need to get hit by that ball lightning the way I got hit by that ball lightning, but that's okay. That's what heal boxes are for. We've come apparently to the breach in the wall. There's a face orb over here. There's also a camp, but unfortunately that camp is on the other side of the wall and I can't get to it. Can I get around it? We've come to the golden angle where apparently nothing is shooting things that track at us, so that's very good. Here's another path into the hell dimension. Do I want to take that? Is that preferable to what's happening currently? I think the answer is no. I think I want to go around the golden angle and see what happens. It looks like we're leaving the forest a little bit out into an area where, pardon this, takes from my water, an area where there are trees growing out of the ceiling. The platforms themselves, the ones we are meant to be swooping onto, are just sort of floating pillars of salt. Oh, no. Okay. So I came out here, hoping that there would be a place to go, and there's not. There's a couple of those platforms I mentioned, and then there's this telescope. It just sort of zooms out and shows me a bunch of places that I can't get into. Nothing for it but to go back, I guess. Where? Okay. Okay, so there's a way to move forward if I can get back to that area where the person with the beam wheel fucking killed me. And apart from that, I can go into the hell dimension. If I wanted. I don't think I want to. I think I want to leave that for right now. And sort of come back to that, just every now and again when I have a little bit more survivability on me. Okay, there we go. Managed to handle that platforming challenge a little bit better, avoided all the ball lightning. Okay, now remember, left trigger does the shield. Lets me get by all of these automated guns. I can't go out that way because the only thing over this way is the platforms that flip if I know how to, but I don't know how yet. Okay, so we're back on the upper part of the Golden Wall path. The one where this asshole in the wheel keeps firing projectiles through a wall at us. And I think we can reasonably get to the other... Oops, No, there's the door. Come on, let's just get in the door and get out of my dreams, get through that fucking door. So the thing I will say about the one with the beam as opposed to the one with the projectiles is that the beam gives you a lot more warning about when it's going to fire. But when it fires, you die if you are in the middle of it. It's a trade-off. I wouldn't say it's necessarily to my benefit. It would have been fine if I'd remembered to use the defense. So I guess this is the thing I'm going to be internalizing over the next, 30 minutes or so, is remembering to use my fucking defense. I'm not gonna bother fighting you, face orb. I'm just gonna go. Alright, very quickly we reached the area where I died previously. And I am again just gonna, like, do a Dark Souls run, not engage with the enemies. And not watch where the beam was firing, run directly into it, and die. Okay, cool. Nope, again, not that way. Go back down. Pardon me, I didn't mean to make a nose noise directly into the mic. I have a mute button. I should be using it. Well, I was about to say, you know what, let's go up and see what's up, but what's up is not anything of note. It's another one of the platforms that I can flip if I knew how to flip them, but I don't know how to flip them. Okay. Okay, this time, though. This time's gonna be great. Listen, I understand my performance has been lacking. But that's fine. Past performance is not an indicator of future results. Oh crap. I missed my jump, but that's fine. Okay, we're finally through that third room, out into a fourth room. Oh good, this is the last room in which I'm gonna have to deal with Dr. Beam and his merry band of motherfuckers. So Let's get the hell out of here. To whatever is on the other side of this, which is apparently reasoning lock. Oh, you're cool. I like you. You look like a Yu-Gi-Oh character. You can't get at me from here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the description. It's a big, grinning face. I guess I'm gonna call it a face. There's eyes and a mouth and a sort of nose-like area, and that's a face, except there's nothing connecting the top and bottom jaws, and also the face is the torso part of it, and then the shoulders, limbs, and head are all just elongated pyramids in gold. That's very cool. I like that a lot. It's also firing like triangle-shaped projectiles at me. That's fine, I'm taking it out. Oh, hey, another camp that I cannot reach from here. Cool. I can go through this door and see what's on the other side of this door. Oh, more of you. Well, I would really like it if there were a save point I could actually get to somewhere between here and there. I should probably make that a priority when I try this next time. Okay, so we're gonna go through the area of the Golden Wall. We're gonna avoid projectile wheel and Dr. Beam to the very best of our ability. Just gonna juke. We're not gonna worry about it. We're not gonna interact with Face Orb over there, or this other Face Orb. There we go. That went swimmingly. So if we go up, it takes us to that Yu-Gi-Oh motherfucker, and I don't want to go that way because it didn't help last time. Down here, there's going to be a place with the... yeah. There's a little altar that we activate with our skull that's moving a bunch of platforms up and down. Let's just wait until they're in an advantageous position, and then we can move across them. That's a door that goes down. But I don't want to go into a door that goes down. I want to see what else is in this room. There's a switch that I can flip. I think that opens the way to the camp that I was near to before. Yes, it does. Okay, good. So we don't have to deal with Dr. Beam at all anymore. We're done with Dr. Beam for the moment. We'll probably come back later. That's interesting. So, how do we handle that? We are being handed a puzzle. So, here's this switch. When I flip the switch, it moves a wall from an upwards path to a lower path, or vice versa. If the wall is blocking the upward path, I cannot get into the leftmost area of this room, where the camp and a treasure chest are. If I flip the switch down, the wall moves down. letting me over to where the camp is, but it explicitly blocks off the area with the treasure chest. There is a shiny thing over here to interact with. Maybe this will be a hint. There's a piece of paper tucked between the bricks. JB, we are growing thin. Soon there's going to be no resistance in the capital. We lost so many to Eldar, to Oblivion, to those damn bloody maws. Olga, Agenor, Cecilia, Dandara, Julia. I keep writing their names down, at least as much as I can remember. We must not forget. As long as we don't, the Salt won't either. And as long as the Salt remembers, there is hope. LM. Okay, that doesn't really help though. So it was not a hint for this puzzle. I'm gonna leave that alone for a moment. I don't know if there's really anything you can do about that. Let's move downward and get a little further in then. I'm confused by this piece of art, which says possum, and has a person stroking a gold bar, as though it were a beloved pet. Don't know that one. Don't know about it. Where does this door lead out to? An area we haven't been to yet. So, and notably an area that won't be in the path of the wall. So let's go ahead and do that. The golden walkway. Get. Alright, so there's a whole bunch of the platforms with the square platforms that rotate when you fire them, or shoot while you were on them. And on one side of them there is a series of automatically moving lasers. And presumably what it wants us to do is very quickly, quicker than that, transfer from one square to the other while avoiding the lasers. Golly and gosh, that's going to be a lot of work. Alright, maybe it's not going to be that much work. I just need to really get that micro down. Like the second it passes by, just flam, whoop, flam. There we go. That was not as hard as I feared. I'm just a little hesitant, I think, because all of the other golden areas have been gross. Okay. Oh, neat. We're in a boss fight. We're no longer in a boss fight. I would like to say that we won, but we didn't. So. Oh, okay. That's how I'm supposed to do that. Alright, so here's how we fix the thing with the lock, the chest that's behind the wall. The camp is also behind the wall, and we respawn at the camp when we die. So actually, is there a thing that we can hit that just says go to camp? No. So we're gonna go to. I'm not going to purposefully KO myself. I'm gonna just kind of go and then see how it plays out. But the next time we spawn at that camp, then we will be on the other side of the wall and we'll be able to get whatever's in that chest. I sort of presume it'll be another essence of salt. Alright. Here we go through the golden walkway. The first thing we're going to do is bait out this space orb. Damn. Okay. Well, I did do that. Okay. Back to the area with the squares, and we're just gonna move through it. Not that hard. There it is. I didn't describe the new face orb at all, I don't think. I said that it has a skull instead of a face, which is true. The other notable thing about it is that instead of firing, instead of just running at us, it fires a bubble, a green bubble at us, which sort of bounces around the space. They're like the bubbles we've seen before. They're green, we can pop them. They're not difficult unless we run into them. Let's go ahead and have this fight with... I'm going to talk about the thing we're fighting before I jump in there, because I'm not going to be able to describe it while I'm fighting it. It's another Yu-Gi-Oh looking motherfucker. It's got a purple body and a gold bird-like helmet and a scythe that it is slashing at us and using to send scythe-shaped projectiles. It moves around rather fast. Let's go ahead and make you not a problem anymore. There is not a lot of lead up to your attack. And you hit for like 3 each shot. That's not a problem if I had bothered to heal or... Oh, okay, good. Well, we're on the other side of the lock now, so let's pop this. Not a heal, but the... What is it called? The infusion? The one that lets us refill our sub-weapon energy, and the thing that lets... the energy that lets us use things that aren't our freedom arrows. Let's go ahead and put that wall back down now that we've gotten the chest on the other side of it. Well, nope, shouldn't stay there, because, well, it shouldn't stay here either. Funny things are everywhere. So, what's over there? I can get to the right side of this room where there is another one of the pyramidions, which is what I'm going to call them. Well, and I was sort of wondering if there was a thing over there to collect, because I can get over there and there's an enemy, but apparently not. It's just another one of them. And I died trying to fight it, so that's unideal. I'm gonna have to go do it again if I want my salt back. I should be using my defense, and I'm still not using my defense. That's okay, I'll learn someday to use my fucking defense. Back to the square room. And now back out of the square room. Let's get back to get back to Dark Magician real quick. Alright, there's left trigger. Left trigger does the defense. Left trigger does the defense. I hold it up, it brings up a bubble. I am invulnerable while I'm in the bubble. Left trigger. Okay. Let's do the fucking thing. Wow, okay, I don't really have enough time to do it. I don't really have enough time. It's actually just a lot easier to dodge rather than try to do that defense. Okay, there we go. That wasn't so bad, despite the fact that I died to it 3 times. Can't go that way because there's one of the platforms that flips. I knew how to flip them, but I don't know how to flip them yet. And because both of my ways forward are blocked off by that, I presume that going through this door will give me the thing I need to learn how to flip the platforms that I don't know how to flip yet. The Crib of Intention. Yeah. So there's been a lot of parallels. Rufio, Insane in the Membrane. Good. There's been a lot of parallels as we've gone through the Intention Capital with the areas that we saw in the opening areas here, like the Village of Artists. I find it difficult to not difficult. I'm not certain whether the takeaway from that is that the folks of the Capital of Intention are directly stealing ideas from the folks in the Village of Artists, or if they were always mirrors of each other, but the Great Bridge being broken has led to one side. It has led to an imbalance there. I'm sort of worried about this giant glowing crystal in the middle of the room for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is that over on the right there, you can see a pipeline that is clearly full of salt ghosts being processed. Processed into what? Processed by which means? Don't know the answers to those questions. Unsure I want to know. Oh good, we can crack the crystal. So that's something. And for this we get the Stone of Intention. The symbol of rational thought and cleverness unlocks new angles for its carriers. Right. Okay, and that's great. The salt ghosts are still being processed over there. Can we do something about that? Yes, indeed. Okay, so that smaller crystal is the thing we need to use to learn to flip the platforms we were previously unable to flip. Lazuli is speaking to us as we exit the Crib of Intention. In some places, the salt moves with powerful velocity, albeit crudely. When led by intention, one can create infinitely. Despite its potency, the lifeless Intention Capital will never resonate with me. Its walls are too cold. Perhaps these are the dark parts of ourselves we must explore. But Eldar, blinded by insatiable desire, has chosen to live this way perpetually. Oop. Okay, there's another portal into the Hell dimension. Do I want to go that way? I could, if I wanted to. Would that be good to do? Difficult to say. There's apparently another one going north from this room. I'll tell you what, let's go to that one, because I think that, oh hey, there were eyeballs over here waiting for us. Hi there. So let's go through the maw into another area of the Hidden Realms. Into, apparently, Incident Square. Ow. Where I am running into spikes on the floor. We flip one of the platforms that we now know how to flip. Station Rendezvous. Station Rendezvous. I feel like dancing. Rain, can I volunteer? Keep right on dancing. Right? Queen? Seaside Rendezvous? From, Night at the Opera? Track like 3 or something? Central Gate Plaza. This just looks like a... So, the Hidden Realms, as we discussed before, look sort of dark and sort of worryingly organic. This just looks like a train station. With, like, one too many grandfather clocks in it. But, like, outside the windows of it, you can clearly see, like, what look like modern skyscrapers. What's through this door? Gears. We've apparently entered Ephemeral Station. Home of Ephemeral Legacy, everyone's favorite TV cooking ghost. That's the joke I'm making. I'm not backing off of it. What the hell are you? You are... Alright, so let's describe Ephemeral Station, because I didn't. It does look more... We'll go with the word modern, I guess. With railings on the walls, floors, and ceilings. There's also a lot of clocks and gears. And also this thing, which is an hourglass, which is red. Okay, so flipping the hourglass, first of all, causes all of the clocks and gears to speed up significantly, but it also opened a thing down there, a gate that we couldn't get into previously. Does it make the... Oh, it sure does make the spikes that are on the walls and ceiling move quicker, too. Good, I'm glad it does that, also. That means I probably need to pick my spot to hit this. I'll actually just sit here for a moment and wait until the crawling spikes have crawled to the other side of this platform. So that I have a, like, reasonable chance at avoiding the damage, mostly. Yeah, that works. Whee! flag raised. And we have found an old crone. Uh, a person in a wheelchair wearing a yellow jumpsuit and headband.
Ah, you're trapped here now, just like I was. Oh, yes, it's as if I was looking at the past. Dandara, I was like you, young and stubborn. I truly believed I could beat Eldar. Look at me now, frail and weak. Time gets us all eventually. Don't waste Salt's time, young one. I fought Eldar when he was much weaker, yet I was still doomed to fail. You think freedom is real? Oh, what naivete. Make peace with time while you still can. Stay here. Keep me company. I know you would like it. We're the same, Dandara. Eldar was much less powerful when I fought him, and I still failed. You know freedom is only an illusion. Deep inside, you feel it too, don't you? Don't you? Accept it, as I did. Pave an easier path.
I disagree. Let's move on. Uh, clock tower. I cannot open that thing, so let's just continue on to the next room. Pusher's assignments. Alright, so that's gonna... So, flipping that hourglass is gonna open the wall in front of me and presumably do a whole bunch of other shit, but I don't know what any of that other shit is gonna be. We find out by doing. Press A to... Oh, good. Okay, so what's fun is that there's a wizard. We'll go with wizard. It's a thing in a red cape in a room above us that was throwing out AoE attacks at us while we were stuck in an area. We had to wait for the timer to finish so that the other gate would open and the wizard would retreat. And we did this. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. So, continuing on from the observation that the fear realm is kind of just dark side of the regular area. The wall is extant here, the golden wall, but it's broken, or probably more likely it is still being built, or doesn't exist here in the same way that it exists there. It's sort of hard to tell. Let's keep going deeper. Maybe we'll learn more. Oh, okay. Oh, right. So this is, right, when I was first in this area that was labeled clock tower before, there was a switch that we've learned how to flip. Or a platform that we've learned how to flip, rather. But I couldn't flip it because it was being held in place by a thing. I finished that puzzle, or that, like, challenge, then came back in here, and there was a switch I was allowed to flip. I flipped it, and now I can move this platform. So, apparently, this is how we're going to climb the clock tower, one challenge at a time. We'll just keep marching to the top of this tower, because God isn't at home. Love the line, never gonna let go of it. Pusher's evaluation. Okay. So it's another room like this with the wizard shooting AoEs at us, where we are having to keep an eye on the timer, with the added incentive of spikes on the floor. Oh, and now we're gonna have to do that even again, huh? Yes, even and also again. Now with spikes on the floor and ceiling. You remember floor spikes? Let me tell you about floor spikes too, ceiling spikes. It's a whole new way to spike. I've run out of healing, but that's okay. Did I miss something I was supposed to pick up somewhere in there? Because I went around this room. Oh no, there we go. There's a treasure chest. It's like, is that like 1,000 salt? That seems like a lot of salt. Which is reasonable, I guess, because that was a shit ton of damage. Alright, let's head back to the clock tower. Waster's procrastination. There's another... fucking... timer. There are also projectiles that are moving steadily back and forth at a predictable rate. That rate will presumably increase significantly once I hit that timer. There's also these adorable little ghosts. They look like babies wearing red cloaks. And I'm gonna go ahead and ace all of those before I have to, yep, there's the wall that I need to flip the timer in order to open. So I'm glad I got all the enemies out of the way first. So all I have to contend with are the projectile things. Oh, it's not all I have to contend with. There's also a wizard. Apparently, whenever you touch a damn timer, the wizards show up. Good to note. Oh, I've respawned and old crone is speaking to me.
Spare yourself the trouble. Stay with me. I'd love to have some company.
No. No. I am going to quit streaming for the moment. I say for the moment, the next stream is going to be on Friday. Because it's 11:20. Time kind of got away from me a little bit, which is ironic, I think, in an area that's so full of clocks and gears. Or maybe it's just coincidental. Words. So, hey. That's going to be it for the stream. Thanks for joining me. Thanks to anyone who's watching this as VOD. I hope that you're having a good time in the time and space that you occupy. I have been Remy of the Free Association. And this continues to be great. This game slams, actually. Next stream is going to be Friday, like I said, and it's going to be more of this. I don't think I have much more to say. at the moment? I don't think I do. I'm gonna get all my shit prepared and then go get into bed. Uh, till next time, I love you. I want you to stay alive. Uh, believe in yourself and look out for each other. I'll see you later.